Alright guys, welcome back to Living Pacific Northwest. Alright, so if you haven't seen the previous video on this one-person tent from Ozark Trail, please go watch that one. This was just a follow-up. This isn't the review. I don't put it up. I'm just going to talk about this for a minute or two because I used it this weekend. So go check out that video. It's somewhere on my page. I'm sure you can figure it out. It's YouTube. It's not that hard. So I used this weekend. Little one-person tent. It did very well. Exceeded my expectations. I thought it was going to be uncomfortable. I thought it was going to be unpleasant. It wasn't. The only thing I would recommend to you guys is go buy a small little tarp. I went and bought this tarp for $3 at Walmart. Just $3. It was right next to where I bought this. So the only complaint I have with this tent is that the floor is super thin. I could feel grass poking through. So what I did was get this tarp. Lay the tarp down, then lay the tent over it. This was barely, this is 6 by 8 foot tent, or tarp, excuse me. So it barely was able to cover this tent right here. I think I had, the back had like maybe a few inches where it wasn't covered. But I had no problems with that. And I was in tall grass. Like it was at least 4 or 6 inch grass. And it was dry and prickly and terrible. But I had no problems with this. One observation I didn't make and learned while I was in this tent, I got up in the morning and sat up and instantly hit my head on the roof. It didn't hurt, it's just cloth and everything, but the one weird thing was there's a bunch of condensation on the inside of the tent, probably from it being super hot and getting really cold. Obviously, you know how that stuff works. So not only did I just bump my head a little bit, it got wet from the condensation. So that was annoying, but it was my fault, really, not the tent's fault. The other observation I had with this is that it's weather resistant. So if it rains, shit out of luck. So keep that in mind. This is probably just a summer tent, not a winter tent. But it kept the elements out, if you will. I was in a sleeping bag and I had a 2-inch hiking mat that I have. That was totally comfortable, totally fine. But as far as this tent, it did fine. I put this tent up faster than my friends that had a 4-person tent. So that just tells you that this is not hard to put up. And there was a decent amount of room. I had my large hiking backpack. It's big. It's tall as me almost. And I was able to put that on the side. I slept head down here, feet up here. I had a good foot and a half of room from my feet, if not more. On the sides, I had a decent amount. I just kind of stuck it on the side and left it there for my backpack, that is. And it was fine. I put all my other stuff on this side. Totally fine. I should have taken some pictures, but I wasn't really thinking about it. The wind, it was a bit windy, but we were on top of a hill exposed to the elements. So if you tuck this away behind a tree, behind a bush, something that blocks the wind, you'll be totally fine. It was a little bit windy, but by the time I got in there and slept in it, there was no wind. So I give this thing probably a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 for cheap alternatives to tents, hiking tents, especially during the summer. There's a 1-year limited warranty, so if it does get screwed up, then you can send it back to them, complain to them, whatever. But I would honestly just go buy another one because it's $25. Can't really go wrong there. So that's it. That's just a quick overview on this. And it's lightweight. This makes it a little bit bulky. It's probably, I don't know, 2 pounds at least. So having to bring this is another con, I guess. But you don't have to. If you're on dirt, totally fine. I was just on grass. I just didn't want to deal with it. So I bought this. But you can use this for other applications too while you're hiking or camping or whatever. Just strap it to the back, outside of your backpack, you'll be totally fine. Anyways, guys, that's all for today. Like I said, if you haven't seen the full review of me trying to set this up and failing horribly in the backyard, go ahead and look that up on my channel. It's just under Ozark, one person backpacking tent. Part 1 probably. This is part 2. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like the video, like and subscribe. If not, you know what I'm going to do.